Okay, so Professor Zawawi, shall we start? It's for 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. GMT time,
yes,
and probably other times in other
yes.
zones of the world. Do you want to say something first, please?
No, I would like to ask you, Professor Luca Incroci, to welcome the audience and welcome the whole series.
Thank you, Professor Zawawi. Good afternoon, everyone. Probably good morning for some of you, could be, but in general should be good afternoon. And my name is Luca Incroci. I am a radiation oncologist based in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam. As you can see from my name, I'm originally Italian, but I moved to the Netherlands more than 30 years ago. And I'm a GU radiation oncologist, so treating already now for 15 years only prostate cancer. And I've been involved in low middle income countries radiotherapy activities already now for 15 years. And one of the leaders who has helped me also to get there is also Professor Zawawi, and also others like Professor Willem Gua and David Kerr from the UK, etc. And I'm very happy to be part of this program. So this is, as I understand, this is the second series of the webinars that have been also in this for the first time, I think, after the first time, with in collaboration with the ASCO as well. And we are very proud of that. And the first series have been focused on systemic cancer therapy, as I understand, and drugs. And now we are looking more specifically to radiotherapy and to many questions that we have as a radiation or clinical oncologist, especially in low middle income countries, on the availability of radiation machines and also the need of, for example, reducing the number of fractions to be possible to treat more patients, or to combine radiation with drugs, with immunotherapy, or with other techniques to be able to cure more patients as we are doing now. And we have a lot of questions there, and we will try in this second series of webinars to address most of these topics, and we will be very happy to get your feedback after the webinars that have been recorded, and you can watch at them later, and send us feedback to Professor Zawawi to be sure that we can address other topics in the future that are very important for your specific situation or in your country or in your specific institution. And because I'm sure that these activities will go on, they have been very effective, very interactive, very interesting. But I must say that sometimes we raise more questions than answers, but we hope all together to be able to work on this. So after saying this, I think that Professor Zawawi can take the lead of this first part of the webinar.
Thank you very much, Professor Luca Incroci, and thank you for all your leadership. And now it's for Professor Kiro Sikora, my old friend. We are together in this way along many years. Professor Kiro Sikora, please.
So radiotherapy is very interesting. It doesn't have the cachet of chemotherapy. That's one of the problems. It doesn't have the money of big pharma behind it. It doesn't have the connection to government and the connection to the media. In fact, has a negative impact in many parts of the world. People think of nuclear war, they think of bombs, they think of militaristic things. People are frightened of radiation. And yet, when you look at it, over half patients with cancer will get radiotherapy or should be getting radiotherapy. Palliative radiotherapy is just a fantastic tool, as we all know, those in the radiotherapy business. I think also it's not going to go away. When you actually look at the combinations of radiotherapy with immunotherapy, together in some cases with chemotherapy, there are some fantastic, interesting points. And I think the older radiotherapists always remember what was called the abscopal effect. And that's when you radiate one part of the body and the tumor actually disappears in another part because of an immune reaction to the tumor. And the best example of an abscopal effect is with renal cell cancer. where we know that immunotherapy can be effective. So there's a lot to be discovered yet. But I think the essence of what Ahmed, our chairman, is after is how we can optimize the utility of radiotherapy. Everything is scarce, everything is rationed. The rich always get better care than the poor, wherever you are in the world. There's no point fighting that statement. No point saying, well, I'm going to steal from the rich to feed the poor and to give them better health care. It's just not going to work. We have balances, but at the end of the day, the best way to deliver effective radiotherapy to people with low resources, whether it's their countries or the people themselves within, perhaps even a rich country where there's imbalance between rich and poor, is to make sure access to radiotherapy is good. And that requires looking at ways in which we can deliver radiotherapy optimally in the least cost possible. You know, the radiotherapy manufacturers in the last decade has fantastically developed IMRT, IGRT, SABR, all these things. The precision of radiotherapy is just amazing. I mean, Ahmed and I planned radiotherapy before there were computers, and what could we do? We just looked at images and drew lines of X-rays and so on. Those days are gone. It's a much more sophisticated business, but we can make it more efficient. Single fraction for palliation is a very effective, cost-effective tool in radiation oncology. So I think the future and the purpose of this discussion for the next hour and a half or so is to see how we can make things more efficient so we can deliver better care for a wider audience of patients. And that's got to be the aim. And I know that's Professor Al-Zawawi's ambition, to be able to make radiotherapy more efficient for more people across the whole world. And it's not a technical problem, it's a logistic problem. And we really want to hear your ideas about how we can deliver that objective within a 2 to 3 year time frame. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your precious notes. And I would like to attract your attention that this is not just for the webinar. All this recorded and will be sent to our network who are registered in our colleagues who are registered in GOIS. Today we have 506 persons from all over the world. In addition to all our networks, including some from industry and some from societies. And this webinar is just a document. And even for colleagues who will watch this webinar, all are recorded, and there is evaluation form who would like to get certificate of game changers, the second series of ASCO GOIS game changer in global oncology. Just reply the evaluation. This is not an exam, but this is a question what you would like, what you think really, and you reply freely and survey about what we presented and about your opinion. It's not an exam. And then there will be this certificate. So will be on the website, as we have the first series was focus on systemic cancer therapy. All are present in the web. And welcome all, invite your colleagues. You will make the change. All audience, particularly the younger than us. Now, if you allow me to present my first talk, but before it, I would like to say that along our series, along global oncology implementing science, led by the professors that, among them, Professor Incroci, Professor Kiroti-Cora, Will Negwa, and Steve Avery, and many colleagues, and David Kerr, surely, and Eduardo Gadab, and all our leadership. I would like to say that we focus on this aspect, how to, through science, through science, not charity, donation, begging, etc., conference and collecting money, but through science to increase affordability of better value cancer care in the world. I think this is our role as doctor and scientist. And we are not social worker. We are not business of global oncology. Now it's become a business. We are doctors and scientists. So we are concentrating on 3 questions in this series of radiotherapy, is it possible to lower the total cost of better value radiation oncology care without compromising the outcome? Yes, it is possible through science, and that is what we raise. And there are many things we would like you to update and to add to this. My talk now, which will be about could we treat double or more than double of our patient in the world with the existing facilities without compromising the outcome? Our answer is yes. And what we'll show today is some examples. It is open. Please increase to that. In the next webinars, we will present also how to increase the radiotherapy facility, and to remarkably in the next 10 years, because what is lacking, as all of you know, is at least 12,000 machines, at least 12,000 clinical oncology service, including radiotherapy and small unit of units of cancer drug therapy and research and all this. 12,000. You imagine this, and so you imagine the gap is increasing despite of all the blah 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 in the world. Despite, I repeat, I'm sorry for this. Despite of all the blah blah in the world, the gap is increasing. And we raise the red flag. My talk now, my humble talk.
Hello all, welcome all. This is the second series of the ASCO GOIS International Webinars and Certificate Game-Changing Global Oncology. Today is the first webinar titled, Can we double or more the number of the treated patients using the existing radiotherapy facilities worldwide? I am Ahmed Zawawi, Professor of Clinical Oncology, Swiss Canadian University, Egypt. I am Chair of Win-Win Initiative, Chair Board of Directors of Global Oncology Implementing Science, the GOIU, and this is the link of the GOIU and the Global Oncology and the GOIS. Founder and President of ICDOC, Experts in Cancer Without Borders, past President of AORTIC, African Organization for Research and Training in Cancer. Disclosure of conflicts, none. I completely follow scientific approaches. I don't take fees for my lectures out of my university or any financial support from any. So the Forum of GOIS, in the Forum of GOIS, we are free completely to express based on science. I am aligned only to what could be beneficial to millions of cancer patients in the world, who regardless where they are and who they are. So it is opportunity to all to express freely with scientific approaches but with scientific approaches and references. Welcome all. The GOIS Forum belongs to all the willing. Please note that we adopt the principles of the Win-Win Scientific Initiative. It is free flow of ideas, flexibilities of thoughts, smart innovations, plus exploration of older and classic ways. Some say that we are idealistic, which is not bad, or dreamers. Then yes, it is a dream, but it could be realized by scientific and smart approaches. Already we presented many examples of the scientific approaches, and we didn't invent anything. But if the world continues the same, it would be a nightmare and not dream, and probably collapse of health systems. You will find many examples of our books and our seminars and our series, and we have access to many of these for free for all, most of it. Could we double or more the number of treated patients with the existing available radiotherapy facilities at present in the world? Yes, it is possible. If there is a will and if there is implementing serious plans based on science, not declarations, etc., plans, not realized plans and not realized talks and etc. There are many blah blah blah. General measures, general strategic planning for radiotherapy facilities in developing countries. In 1999, a global strategy of radiotherapy was proposed in consultation. In a consultation for the WHO, it considered different local parameters, including gross national product, GNP per capita, which categorized countries in the world into 4 groups or levels. Accordingly, a 3-tier series of radiotherapy service was proposed with an internet-based intercommunication strategy at the time. Up to nowadays, with development of ICT and AI, then it could help. This could help a lot. Such a network could be cost-effective, helping to bridge the gap and give all patients access to state-of-the-art of technology and radiotherapy. Here is the reference. 3 of the 9 consultants who did these consultations of the WHO was Professor Kiro Sikora, Twalib Ngoma, and me, El Zawawi, are in GOIS, and other colleagues, distinguished colleagues from the world also. We have the honor that 3 of us, our market in red here. There are very important work for data et al. Here is the reference. To explore feasible cost-effective solution in low-middle income countries. Data et al. Suggested optimized teleradiotherapy networks through resource sharing could be cost-effective and financially viable option to create radiotherapy infrastructure and facilitate capacity building toward realizing the 2030 agenda. If we are going to realize it, not like other agenda over the last 4 decades. For sustainable development goals in most low-middle income countries. Low-income countries and some low-middle income countries that are not expected to show positive return on investment should be considered for external financial assistance through health systems. This is not begging or donations, just like our aid or something. This is all will win at the end, believe me. And we should study it in depth and in intelligent way. All will win. And here is references. A practical modification of system work in radiotherapy department. If the existing system is not enough to cover the need of patients in some countries and with long waiting lists, so you see here what we stated in El Zawawi 2012, 2022, and data 2022. Also, that there are several points and suggestions that deserve study in order to increase the number of treated patients, for example, and increase the hour of work and shifts, particularly in developing countries, and increase the working days from 5 to 6 or even 7 days per week. However, we point that to the necessity of repairing the system of remuneration of all work staff, if that we would like to implement something like this, including in clinical oncologists, physicists, dosimetrists, technician, radiographer. If we think in intelligent way, this would be very cost effective. Fractionation, hypofractionation, and some brainstorming and exciting, a very exciting point about fractionation will be tackled in the next webinar 2 of this series. But we see here an example related to change of system and days of work and fractionation as well. Overgaard et al. reported in a study accelerated 6 fractions per week versus conventional 5 fractions per week for radiotherapy in squamous cell carcinoma of the head and neck in a randomized international multicenter trial with 908 patients conducted by the International Atomic Energy Agency. Local control was better in the group selected for 6 fractions per week. In fact, these findings deserve more studies for other tumors, particularly for the local advanced lesion. The reduction of machine downtime. In many developing countries, this is a situation, unfortunately, which mainly due to maintenance problem and lack of culture of local regularly preventive maintenance. In our view, we emphasize the importance of programs that should develop, not just planned and talks about, in order to ensure that most of the problem of machine downtime can be fixed as soon as possible by local teams after training, surely. Good training and good advice, either alone or using prompt telecommunication with the manufacturer's maintenance staff. We say developing and implementing it widely and not just talking about or just planning for. In many meetings and publication and etc., enough is enough. Innovation and research. Example of innovations that save time and cost of implementation of modern technology of radiotherapy without compromising the outcome. Hence, you treat more number of patients with the same facilities that you have. In the third webinar of this series, we present low-cost radiotherapy machines and novel ring-based compensator intensity modulated radiotherapy by Professor Eric Ford. Another example, very exciting example, very scientific example. Lowering the cost of image guidance in radiation therapy using low-dose megavoltage imaging cone beam CT for accurate radiation therapy delivery by Professor Rosberg Biko. Save times and cost and everything. Brainstorming on AI in clinical oncology and prospect. This is also one of the topics that we will tackle. Smart radiotherapy and biomaterial for combining radiotherapy and immunotherapy by Professor Wilfred Nego et al. This is in the fourth webinar, and we cited other innovations and research, professional education and training, and more focus on the real problems in the real world, not just professional education and training that many are going nowadays. We emphasize that the most mandatory element for resource-sparing, cost-effective treatment and better value treatment tailored for patients in different communities is the well-trained and regularly updated medical technical maintenance staff. This is a higher priority. Therefore, customized and regular updated training is recommended for the local medical, technical, and medical staff. We consider this aspect in the educational and training program planning of the Global Oncology University, and particularly in the program of Global Oncology Implementing Science program. In 2012, 2015, 2018, 2022, I emphasize that the curricula of clinical oncology provided for low-middle income country should not be less but more than those provided for high-income country. Maybe you're surprised, but this is what is needed really. So we indicate that they should provide as far as possible different valid care options, hints and pointers to scientific undertaking on how they solve local problems, and not conduct research on how to tailor treatment to get better outcome for their patients. All will win, including patients and science. This is in addition to in-depth knowledge, master and study of the ready-made resources and guidelines for treatment produced by Western societies and organizations and curriculum. But with the understanding that, as many indicating, as may indicate, we indicate in GOIS, that this ready-made Western curricula and guidelines may not scientifically give the best result for their local patient in the real life. Hence, research, trials, and collaborative study between North and South to report in depth the local outcomes. Once again, we stress on that all win. Moreover, we indicate that in GOIS and the win-win initiative, the curricula, is the initiative, the curricula in the low-income country address the topic to how to establish new services and how to develop the clinical oncology service in different communities and conditions. These issues deserve more global consideration for effective wide realization if we seriously want to see a breakthrough in the rate of increasing access to clinical oncology service in the world. Please allow me in this occasion to remember with great thanks to my mentor in Paris in the 70s and early 80s, the late Professor Alain Logier, who insisted to stress on these points with details from planning to different layout projects to many technical points in after work lectures and visits to radiotherapy industries workshops. I admit that all the young doctors like me at that time were bored, looking that we'll go home late. We didn't understand the value of these additional programs. Till he passed 4 years ago, he was following that I'm still taking care of these informations about these aspects and following with precious advice our activities around the world. Thank you, my great mentor and my godfather, Monsieur le Professeur Alain Logier. In GOIS, we never claim that we cover all. We welcome all experts and endeavor to share and to send their links of courses and webinars. We'll send to all our work these links, and in our webs there are 55 links to other useful world sources of professional cancer education. Welcome all. We are not in the rivalries. We are not competing. We are not replacing any. We are completing. We present other examples of potential solutions along the second series. Also, we presented many relevant scientific approaches. We presented already in approaching global oncology, the win-win model. This is the link. And this chapter, science and affordability of cancer drugs and radiotherapy in the world, the win-win scenario. And this is free access, this chapter. Welcome all. Along the series, ASCO GOIS series and our GOIS program, we don't mean to or claim that we present all solutions, but our expertise, all your expertise, feedback, suggestion, and addition are welcome and highly needed. In the Win-Win Scientific Initiative, we are collaborating, completing, and not competing with any, and not replacing any. We're welcoming all. We are an open forum for all with the same goal to increase affordability of better value cancer care in the real world. Thank you all. And here the link and link to our message also. We are a message of love for all humans via science, through science, not by words, not by talks. The value of this program and initiative depends mainly on your discussion, feedback, modification, constructive criticism. We welcome all your feedback. before, during, and after the second GOIS sent to us. All are recorded and noted. Feel free to take some of these points to discuss with you in your institutes, organization, even to publish your outcome and views as authors. We don't claim any ownership. Thank you all on behalf of all the leaders and faculty of GOIS. OU. We are looking forward to hearing from you. Just a moment, sorry. Going forward in fruitful cooperation and looking for your feedback, comments, even constructive criticism. This forum belongs to all of you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you, Professor Zawawi. I think I would like to say immediately something using the words you said at the end. I think it's very important to realize that these kinds of discussions should also take place in the institutions themselves. So we can be like all of us at the webinar, but I think really the starting of the whole process should be at the own institution, and to raise the topics that we should discuss all together. And I would like, before maybe we proceed to other questions or give it a chance to the audience, I would like to ask you a provocative question, Ahmed. I think you mentioned about like how can we treat more patients and maybe increasing the number of days that we treat patients, like 7 days a week, or maybe even from 8 in the morning until midnight, what actually also happens in many countries. I'm very used in Ethiopia, and I know that they can go on really until midnight. But I think that one of the questions raised when we tried to look at this possibility years ago, even in the Netherlands, when we had some concerns about the waiting list, is increasing the number of treating days. And actually, our medical physicists, after making all the calculations, told us, okay, you can do that. We also had the money enough to pay people to do that, because you need RTTs, medical physicists, doctors working for 7 days. But they told me, you have to realize that your machine will get very old in a very short time, and you will need to replace them instead every 10 years, according to the law in the Netherlands, but probably after already 5 or 6 years. So the question a little bit to you or to all of us is, if we would be able to do this, having monies for the personnel, how do you think we can buy more machines even shortly than after 10 years? So it's just, it's just provocative discussion questions where I don't know any, I have no answer for that, but I think it's something we could think about.
Yes, thank you very much for this very important, very, very important question. But I would like to say it is not one-way solution. It is combined together. So if you combine this with remuneration of personnel, because it is very important factor, because why your staff escape is not brain drain, it is brain escape to abroad because they would like to live. So you bring for them more money to work, but also this works along with decrease the number of fractionation, so the machine will work less. If you see how to save cost and time and your machine in doing 3D with LMC that invented by Rosberg, by Eric Ford, and the image guiding of Professor Eric Rosberg, then and others. There are many inventions that reduce the time. You will see that the time you use and the machine, and even you'll save time of CTs and others. So it is not one approach, it's many approaches together, not just increase our hours of work without remuneration of doctor, without less number of fraction, without simplified technique, and without compromising the outcome in very scientific way. This is the role of science, and this is our role, how to do modern technique without exhausting much the machine. So it is not one way. And also the problem of machines in developing countries is not just because they work much, because the downtime, because maintenance is not good. It really is not good, and for many factors. It is not the time to say it, but there is some corruption behind also. Okay, in every country. But we would like also to say that it should be all stakeholders included, because the second question by some industries that you will make your machine work more and less the downtime, then you treat more number of patients, then they will not buy another machines. So it is against industry also. No, that is why I explain in some of chapter. No, it is prove together. You and Professor Sikora and all prove together that it means that radiotherapy is more cost effective than we imagine, and that encourage to create more services, because you have a ways to treating cancer more cost effective than we even imagine, because the usual problem in many countries that, oh, to buy a machine, to buy a service, is too expensive, but to buy some ampoules or some vials of drugs, this is not very expensive. No. Radiotherapy is more expensive, and if we use these measures, this will be expansion of radiotherapy. There will be more purchase of radiotherapy if we work together with the industry. That is why you are very correct in saying that if we raise this question now, but its proper place is in your institutions. You invite others. You lead this question, and you find many intelligent and smart approach to increase radiotherapy in the world, because there is a need for that. Otherwise, we'll continue with the same myth. Radiotherapy is expensive. Machine of radiotherapy is expensive. If we work more, I don't speak theoretically. And maybe this is not the occasion to say some examples in the real world. I saw 63 departments in the world, and some of them you'll find many surprising things. In a country in East Europe, you imagine that they have 2 accelerators in good condition. They are not working just because there is no stuff to work, and at the same time they ask for center of excellence of radiotherapy and donations for some techniques which not used in West Europe even. You imagine this. So we should sit together, and this question should not study in our webinars. Our webinars is raising questions, but this is your roles, all of you, to lead this in your institution and to publish things about this. I am sure that you will find many things to guide the future.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to have some other comments, maybe by Carol, or I see Dr. Malum or others, so whomever wants to comment on this first part of the webinar. No comments? Maybe I can catch one. Oh yes, Abba, please go ahead. Dr. Malum from South Africa.
Am I audible? Good afternoon, my mentors and everyone in the forum. Thank you for this very important topic, Prof. Ahmed Al-Zawawi. Affordable of better value radiotherapy, it is a cardinal. And in fact, there is nothing lesser we can do rather than emphasizing on a innovative and equitable access model and a regional collaboration to improve cost effectivity. And Prof. Luca asked a question about what will be the approach if the turnover or either increasing the timing. And I think one of the things Prof. Luca is leading a clinical trial of which we are all a co-author. Hypofractionation is a valuable option that is going to make an affordable as well as also increasing accessibility and cost-effective treatment. I think it will be also important that this in terms of training, in terms of reinforcing the global south, particularly low middle income country, Africa involved, which have limited radiotherapy resources. If they will be moving toward that, evidence are there. I guess that will become a one potential option. And like Ahmed Al-Zawawi said, it is a multi-factorial approach in terms of both human resources as well as using a specific technique to improve radiotherapy access in the contents of globally as well as particularly the global south. And I think the global oncology implementation science have a very big role to play by doing this webinar is a one event, but I am totally in agreement with Prof. Luca that if we can get a championing of a institutional base to lead so that they can be engaged, whatever is being discussed, to be practically start implementing it, it may make a more impact in shortly near future. Thank you. That's all my comment for now.
Can I say something, Professor Luca?
Yes, of course. Please go ahead. Thank you, Abba, for your comments.
Thank you, Abba. And the second webinars, Professor Luca and you will present hypofractionation. It will be very interesting, and this is very occasion to make announcement about it. It is the most of the decision about fractionation and surely about hypofractionation. You raise a point that there is also by Professor Luca and Croce that these webinars are stimulating, and the second important step is to take this point. It is between your hands. Raise it in your institute. You are the leaders. We don't claim any ownership. This all a collection from publication and many other things. So it is between your hands. Every one of our leaders can lead initiative in his institute, in his society. And this is the only hope, but not the webinar is just stimulating point, and this is between your hands, the record and everything, and start from it and add to it, modify it. It's up to you.
Thank you, Ahmed. One more comment or maybe a question. What is your opinion or view about donation of machines? You know, we are asked several times a year from institutions or countries based in low middle income resources whether we would have machines that we have to renew because or to replace, because I am not sure how is the law in your country, Ahmed, or in others. But in the Netherlands, we are obliged to replace the machines after 10 years. Even if they're great, even if they're functioning, even if the company is saying they are good, we have really to, by law, we have to replace them. And we might ask for 2 more years if we need some time of doing a tender or looking for new machines. But after that, we have really to replace them. They are considered illegal if we use them after 10 to 12 years. So we get these requests very often, and I must say that we have such a difficulty to give these donations because the companies of the machines, of course, as you can imagine, they don't want to work with us because they prefer to sell new machines And that's what we understand, of course. So they say we will not help you in dismantling the machine and transporting them somewhere else. And another point we are facing is who is legally responsible for a machine that, like Erasmus MC, would donate to, let's say, Ethiopia or South Africa. Then you get some legal issues that nobody wants to be responsible for that. And so at the end, after 5 years, because we have really replaced, I think, 10 machines in the last 5 years, we have not been able to donate any of them. So I'm very curious to hear from you and from from the audience, for the attendees, what are your thoughts, and are there other options maybe?
This is very important point. We tackled it since a long time years, and we arrived to the same difficulties that you raised. Really, it is realistic points. But could we raise the point again? Because we should go through a point that if you give machines that could work another 10 years maybe, or 5 years, that is not against how to convince industry, that is not against their selling of more machine. No, it is paves the way for construction of radiotherapy. If you start a department of one refurbished machine, then you will oblige to train physicists, to train radiation oncologists, you have patient, and then it will never be enough. So it will be the base of expansion of radiotherapy. You imagine, you see the map of radiotherapy. There are countries that have very few machines for millions of population. And I see also even you may surprise of this, because I see the realities, and realities sometimes different from what is showed in IAA and many things. You see a country, rich country, like, for example, Saudi Arabia. You see in the map, okay, they have machines and everything. But you see that I reviewed the real data that in some places in Saudi Arabia, they have the distance between the distance to the nearest department of radiotherapy is more than 600 kilometers. You imagine this. And I know that in Saudi Arabia, there is a center who used refurbished machine. I don't know, don't want, and it's working very good. So we should tackle this point that you raised, Professor Luca Incrucci, in smart way, an intelligent way, to convince that this is not against selling machine. This is one of the way to spread radiotherapy. If we start with one machine refurbished, and you maintain it, and you have radiation oncology, you have clinical oncologists, you have medical oncologists, you need pathologists, you need everything grow around it, and then you would never enough. You need many other machines, and this will be the beginning of expansion of sales of their radiotherapy. Some of the practical point, I tried this in a city in Kenya, and there is a very kind man. I don't know him personally. He's doctor, and he asked to send his machine free accelerator variant to this city in Kenya. But I was very happy and very enthusiastic, and I went there. But there was a quarrel in this city which has no radiotherapy. Okay, because about the two want to take this machine and build a charity hospital in this, and quarrel between them who will take over of this. But the man asking for more than 2 years sent to me, I don't know him personally, I have the machine, I would like to send it, I asked the company, they told me, we don't like, as you said exactly, Luca, you are completely right, we don't like this story of old machine. Why they don't buy a new machine? They can't. They can't. And this machine was free completely. And if they start with this and start with something, then they will have a big center after. And it is city situated on the Indian Ocean in Kenya. And unfortunately, I have many stories like this, but I'm old man. So this is what I'm very enthusiastic that Luca Incroci leads this direction again with Carol Sikora and try to be more smart than me and convince companies and convince people to take this solution, because it's very important, very practical.
Thank you so much. I see that Dr. Maluma has a comment or a question. Please, Abba.
Yeah, Prof. Luca, I think probably it might be a comment. One thing that is very clear is that there is a global need, particularly in the sub-Saharan Africa, need of radiotherapy machines. Sometime in reality, the government, just the way they have been structured, is not practical for them to even acquire the machine in a reasonable timing. And then we have on the other side a country like your country where machines lifespan is 10 years, they have to leave it to go. And one of the things that I'm thinking, I believe the country are also to donate that they are thinking of legal implication. They are thinking they don't want any liability associated after donating, if at all that is allowed. Now, my guess is a something like a global health catalyst where they have a kind of global networking. If they will look at it in the perspective of saying, what are the ways for us to become a third-party mediator, that any donors wanted to give a machine to come to them, and they become a third party liaising with every country. They know their regulation and the need they know. Probably it may reduce some of the barriers and potential liability with the donor as well as the receiver. But that is just a general suggestion. I don't know if that may work in some way. Thank you.
It's a very interesting point about what you are raising, and I think it will be possible to discuss this with the global catalyst leaders, Professor Ngwa, Professor Avery. I would like to really to have their comments, because I'm sure that if we prepare like a document and we are trying to make it clear what we are going to do, I think we should be doable. And I completely agree with Hamed saying that this is not against industry. I mean, it's not that we tell Electa or Varian or other companies, we don't want your machines, we just want to donate all machines. That's not the case, but we need both. I mean, we will never be able, even if there is a lot of money available in many countries, still it will be not enough to buy all the needed machines. So if we can find also machines that are working very well, safely, and that can be donated, I think we should also try to explore that path. So I think it's a good point of view, but to look at that within the global catalyst leaders. I don't know if others have comments on this. Yes, please, Dr.
If you allow me, I'm Sami Khatib from Jordan.
Yes,
I think all the ideas.
Excuse me, Professor Sami, I would like to introduce yourself, because your contribution with AMAC is very important to us.
Thank you.
Yourself, yes.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Thank you. So I'm Sami Khatib. I'm consultant clinical oncologist. So at the same time, I'm till now the president of Jordan Oncology Society. Maybe next month, no, because I finished my term. I'm the president of Arab Medical Association Against Cancer, which is the umbrella of about 19 Arab countries and their oncology societies. Our main interest is the promotion of the juniors oncologist in the area, and we consider junior as any specialist below age of 40. So we are doing a lot for them and looking for collaboration with many institutions and hospitals in the region and in the world. We send more than 60 persons as a fellows to be trained for different periods, 3 months, 6 months, to have more experience and to come back and interchange the experience with the staff that they have in the institution where he is working. So back to the issue, I'm really happy with the ideas suggested from all. And I think we should deal with the manufacturers because part of their mission is the services of the civil community where they need their services. So from this point of view, I think we can do a lot with them for the machines that they consider that it's expired, whereas it's not expired. Still, as you said, many countries, they don't have machines and they couldn't pay it. So if we have some of agreements with the manufacturers, all of them, so we can do something for these countries where we can send some persons, trainers from our side as a volunteer to them and train some people to use these machines because maybe they have specialists but without many experience to treat persons. So I agree with the ideas that we should talk with them. Maybe if we have some NGOs, they can do a lot of pressure in these companies because they need many of NGOs. They have some hospitals where they are helping people, including cancer patients.
Professor Luca, if you allow me, we will move to the next lecture, and then I will, if you allow me, I'll ask Professor Ali Razik after this presentation, because Professor Ali Razik is a treasure of experience in establishing department in USA and in the Gulf area, and it's a treasure of experience, really. So the next presentation, if you allow me.
Please.
Hello. I'm very glad to be among you today. Today, we present the second short lecture of the first webinar of the second series of ASCO GOIS International Webinars and Certificate Game Changing in Global Oncology. The title is about why a lot of further research in radiotherapy is needed. Today we present the first part. Second part we presented the next webinar. I am Ahmed Zawawi, Professor of Clinical Oncology and Nuclear Medicine in South Carolina University, Egypt, Chair of Win-Win Initiative, Chair of Board of Direction of Global Oncology Implementing Science, GOIS, is a part of GOU, and is a link, and founder, President of ICDOC, International Campaign for Research and Training, for International Campaign for Establishment and Development of Oncology Centers, and ICDOC's Expert in Cancer Without Borders. This is a link, and past president of Aortic, African Organization for Research and Training in Cancer. Disclosure on conflicts. I'm sorry to repeat this, but this is needed. It is a non-disclosure on conflicts, none. And I completely follow scientific approaches, works of many scientists and evidences. I don't take fees for my lecture. out of my university or financial support from any. That is means that we are free completely in GOIS to express based on science. I am aligned only to what could be beneficial to millions of cancer patients, as always repeated in GOIS. To be clear, welcome all, and this opportunity to all to express freely with scientific approaches or references and evidences. Well, GOIS is forum for all. As we stressed always that we follow free flow of ideas, flexibility of thought, smart innovation plus exploration of older and classic ways. The big brainstorming hypothesis here is that we claim that the field of scientific studies of radiotherapy is still in need of many research studies and game changing. What do you think? This invitation to start the discussion now and after is open forum. You can send your feedback and you can contribute, you can publish. Invitation for discussion. This brainstorming is meant as a starting of stimulating points. Its value depends on your discussion, feedback, modification, constructive criticism. No problem to correct us and additions. We welcome all your feedback before, during, and after the second ASCO GOIS International Webinars. Please feel free to take some of these points to discuss in your institutes or an organization, societies, and even to publish with your outcome as authors. We don't claim any ownership. We are just initiator stimulating. Why more research is needed in radiotherapy and related to sciences? To date, radiotherapy with or without surgery is responsible for most of the cure in cancer. All cancer drug therapy is responsible only of 11 to 12% of cure. Maybe in some studies now it's slightly more, but not much, of cure in cancer, and more in the upcoming years. The remaining is attributed to surgery and radiotherapy. 50 to 60% of cancer patients will need radiotherapy along the course of their disease. There is growing more indication for radiotherapy in the upcoming years, not as some may think. There is growing more indication of radiotherapy in combination with new technology like targeted drug delivery, nanotechnology, and particularly immunotherapy. The future is still there. As we know, despite all the efforts, organization, society, conference, summit declaration, etc., and talks and thousands of publications, there has been along the last 4 decades or 3 decades. Also, it needs to waste time to dispute about that the gap between the needs and available radiation oncology service is widened in the last 2 decades. If the stakeholder continue with the same previous ways, the same approaches, the same conferences, the same World Day of something, the situation will only worsen. There is a burning need for a lot of focused scientific approaches on how to increase affordability of better value cancer care via science, with consideration of the interest of all stakeholders in the real world. An example is our first series of ASCO GOIS International webinars focused on systemic cancer therapy. Here's the link. You'll find the free access to the 5 webinars with very interesting examples and public and reference and everything. Our second series is focused on radiotherapy, molecular radiotherapy combined with immunotherapy. This series. Radiotherapy is a core modality of cancer treatment. However, concerns have been expressed regarding its underutilization and its lack of prioritization as a research domain compared to other treatment modalities, despite its rapid technical evolution. As you see this in conference and many things and many festivals of cancer, etc. Money talks. A total of 62,550 62,550 radiation therapy research article from 127 countries published in 2,531 international journals were analyzed. The United States were responsible for 32%, Japan 8%, and Germany 7%. But what is I would like to stress on here that trial-related radiotherapy publication represented only 5.15% of the total output. You look for other trials and other domain and something, you see the difference. Greater support for radiation therapy research, including international collaboration in low and middle income countries. This could provide the requisite knowledge to guide future radiation therapy research program. And a win for all. Here is some reference, and this is the first one you find, a full text-free for all. And this approaching oncology, our book. We continue in the second webinar, but we give you an idea, and if you like to, that we send for you the full text of the second webinar 3 weeks before the webinar. The second webinar will be on 26th November at 3 to 5 p.m. This time will be in Greenwich time. Just send to us. Welcome. There is a need for many studies that include clinical radiation oncology, biology, radiogenomics, single nucleotide polymorphism, variation in responses and toxicity, physics and engineering. Example of exciting points that will be presented in next webinar. It is not exhaustive list, but example. Do you imagine that this is just examples? Brainstorming on different way of delivering radiotherapy, fractionation, our preliminary suggestion for definition of subcategories for model type of fractionation. I suggested subcategories, suggestion for subcategories, and it is for discussion for model type of fractionation for your discussion and crystallization. Please feel free. Schedule equal doses per fraction, or to be not equal. It should be the same every day. The time of decision of session of radiotherapy, chronology, and chronoradiobiology, and time and effect of time of administration of concomitant administration of concomitant medicine. There are some examples already for this, but it is still open for many research for other drugs. Flash therapy. How do those single dose per fraction and fractionation schedule can influence the abscopal effect and immune responses? Smart radiotherapy biomaterials for combining radiotherapy and immunotherapy. I have a question. Is the term 2D radiotherapy, two-dimensional radiotherapy, right? What you present is starting point of collective brainstorming. Its purpose is not to present final answers. We don't present final answers. We present some answer, but we leave other for you. It is many things to be raised by you, but to raise important question about direction of radiotherapy research and to spark collaboration. Then the big issue is along the series that we are focused on. The need for implementation studies and innovations that reduce cost of cancer care without compromising outcome. How to increase affordability of better value cancer care through science in the real world, not by talks, not by planning, not by not realized planning along the last 3 decades. This is the main issue in our series. Like the series of previous series, and here is and our book, 45 chapters, and other references. Is our claim, comes the important question, is our claim that this field of research and studies in radiotherapy and related fields and sciences is still virgin? Is it true? Is it true? What do you think? This brainstorming will be of value only with your discussion, feedback, suggestion, constructive criticism, addition and modification, follow up. It's open. It's not webinar and goodbye. It is follow up. Thank you all on behalf of the leaders and distinguished faculty of GOIS-ASCO. And please have this message always with you and send to your colleague on your network. Implementing science to make cancer care affordable, a message of love for all humans through science, not by talks, not by festivals and etc. of world days of, by through science. Thank you all. And going forward in fruitful cooperation, this endeavor is yours, and it will succeed only of your contribution now in the future. It is between your hands. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Professor Ahmed, for this inspiring and interesting talk that also gives us, again, a lot to talk. Is there someone who wants to comment on this specific part of the webinar? Otherwise, I can start with Ahmed saying, what would be your suggestion to find monies to do research in radiotherapy? Because as you are aware, it's very difficult to convince the vendors of machines to do research. Just to give you an example, I'm helping two research groups in Ethiopia, and they wrote a very interesting protocol, 2 different centers, 2 different things. And we are trying to get money, and we have written to the companies, and it's incredibly difficult to find the monies to do that. Very different than what you would be able to do with the drug company, because with these companies, you'll be very, it's quite easy to get financial support, but for radiotherapy machines, it's very, very difficult. So what are your thoughts about that? Or others, of course, who can comment.
I would like to say that that is why I say that, because we concentrate all the time between 3 fractions or 5 fractions. This is purely a radiotherapy machine and something. We touch superficial thing, but if we go in depth, this is the domain of research in many faculty, in biology, in cancer biology, in radiobiology, in engineering. So if we go in depth, we'll find many things that already done by many PhD theses and master degrees, but it's not directed to the depths of radiotherapy. Radiotherapy, if I'd like to say, for example, if we compare between 2 races, black and white, for effect of toxicity of radiotherapy, and we just to compare between 3 fraction or 5 fraction or something toxicity without attracting the basic science with us about others who have funds for research in, for example, DNA repair in prostatic carcinoma is indicate that prostatic carcinoma is sensitive to radiotherapy among black people than white people. That point we take, this is these people and these people 3 fraction, 5 fraction. But if we go in depth, we'll attract basic sciences and many who have some funds for this. And this is what we mean. That we mean that all our protocols when we say that usually for decades we say that the bad prognosis among Black people with prostatic carcinoma, maybe because they advanced, maybe for other thing, but not for radiotherapy, because we didn't adjust the radiotherapy well to the biological. We just applied these protocols in other races superficially, and we know toxicity and react and response, and this is all. If you go in depth, you attract many other sciences with their funds to you. And what is interesting, even in this small part, I have many examples. Even in prostatic carcinoma, among Black races, the adenocarcinoma of the DNA repair delay is in prostatic adenocarcinoma, but not in the surrounding tissue, not in bladder, not in rectum, not on other tissue. That is need more research and basic research. Is East Africa is like West Africa? I don't know, because in breast cancer, we discovered that the triple negative breast cancer in East Africa is not like West Africa. And this was useful to American people, because all trials, all research and people with triple negative in among Black American was give some not response to chemotherapy, didn't show the paradox of chemotherapy, didn't show other biological. This is not the time now to show it many different, but because the Black American from in the United States coming from West Africa. But this is not reflected on Africa. Eastern Africa is completely different and even have some better prognosis due to biological. Because, so that is why we need a more campaign, and this in your universities, in your institutes, to attract others to radiotherapy. Radiotherapy is not just machine and fractionation. It is more, more deep than that. And it have a big future with this, not just by changing fractionation or something, but it have big future with this. Look for flash therapy. Flash therapy open a new radiobiology. When you, contrary to what we believe, what we think, I don't know, when you increase the dose to the dose rate to 40 grays per second, and even this is 40 grays what's written in book, but there are some centers, some university, and they are away from us. The university is working in physics and something, but they arrive to 259 gray per second. The effect on on healthy tissue is nothing in comparison to the this superficial tumor with treated with flash radiotherapy. This is new radiobiology. Yes, there are explanations. That's what in the lecture of radiotherapy I'll try to explain some of that. But that is what published. But there are many factors. So radiotherapy should attract many specialties and funds of many ongoing research, and there is a lot of money for this. But if we could become only in the field of 3 fraction, 5 fraction, breast holding in breast cancer, you will not find funds. That's why I think we are scientists. Radiotherapy, radiation oncology is not now become a part, is just a man working with machine. He is the doctor. He is the doctor, scientist, and working with a very important tools, not completely understood till now. That's what like I say. If you allow me, I would like to introduce Dr. Ali Razek, because he missed the first part. Dr. Ali Razek, you spoke about establishing centers and also about Verbish machine. This man is a treasure in establishing. I don't remember the number, but he established 18 centers in United States before, or something like this, in other centers in other countries. So he can speak himself. Dr. Ali Razek, please. He is there. Yes. Your mic is mute. Your mic, we don't hear. Your mic is mute. His mic is.
Okay.
It's
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Ahmed, for introducing me. And I remember when you came 18 years ago to Abu Dhabi to open our new center. That was a good meeting. There is two scenarios here. One is the machine, and the other one is the pharmaceutical companies. The machines are fine, but we have to attract more from China because they make a lot of machines that are not expensive enough and can be utilized in Africa. And the pharmaceutical are important because they have the funds to do the clinical trials, to do the research that is needed. They have the money and they like to do research and do the trials for their medication for the patients. So we have to combine it in a way or two with the radiation therapy trials. These are the two avenues, I think, in my opinion, that promote what you're saying here.
I would like that to tell us shortly about some of your experience in establishing center, because this is a rare practice, a real experience, really.
Yes, when I came to UAE, there was only one center.
Excuse me, before you in the United States, and you have a long history.
There was only one center here in Al Ain, and the whole country, there was no radiation therapy centers. So I said, I didn't do a feasibility study because I know it's going to work. There is 10 million people at least without the expat. And we started, we finished in 2 years. We had 2 linear accelerators and PET-CT scan introduced here and cyclotron introduced. And it went very well. So I encourage people to go into areas that have a population and they do not have the equipment. That project should be successful. And gradually people were coming, and the insurance company insured their industry and the people working there. So as far as funding it, it was easy to do. Now there is 12 centers in UAE, so the competition is high. But again, we made that progress and we're still working fine. This is my personal experience.
And what is about the history in USA?
I've been working for many years, and Washington University, I worked there, and then went to private practice, community hospitals. And again, we did the same thing. We had our own center in one of the cities, but the small towns that have only a small hospital, like 40-bed hospital, 60-bed hospital, they didn't have the equipment. So we started to have small centers. We built 22 centers.
Yes.
And then they were all bought by a company and went to IPO. You know how the business is. And when we finished, I came to UAE because the changes that happened in the environment and in the way to do the business is different. So, but UAE was a successful project.
So I think that you are one of the treasures that and references that we return to you, because you established, as you said, modestly, just 22 centers in the United States, and now a center in UAE. This is a very good experience with different difficulties in the United States, not like UAE, and different projects. And this is, I think that there are many experts that could help and could lead this initiative, like you and like Professor Kirostikora, like Luca, and like Sami, and like all. Thank you, Dr. Ali Razik. Thank you for your support. And also, I remind that you was behind the ICDoc, and you was for years, and you supported us for long years with your advice till now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Professor Sami wants to comment,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. It's not comment. It's a question for Dr. Abdelrazak. Just I want to know how we can help the low-income countries to establish radiotherapy centers in a reasonable cost.
That's a good question. When we started, we have, as I said, the small towns, and the only thing for you need one room, one bunker, and you get a machine that's not expensive, that can do the job. Maybe not, as I say, through beam, okay, but as something that can treat the patients in a good fashion. Maybe not jump into SRS and SBRT, but at least we can provide 3D, and we can provide IMRT if we can do that. And then we have one simulator, and then you have the physicist to support, and the physicist can actually serve several centers at the same time, because you don't have enough patients, so they can do that. So these are the things to cut cost, so that you can provide the service at a cheaper quality, not cheaper quality. The quality is good, but at cheaper expense, at cheaper, as you know. Okay, so that's how I feel about to do that.
May I ask you something, Dr. Abdel? You mentioned the machines from China. I'm not aware. I mean, I am aware, but I don't really know what these machines are. And I even heard that even India is developing something. Are these really machines where you can count on? Or it's something, you know, that for us from Western countries, we would have a lot of troubles to get them imported or work with them?
No, yeah, as you said, I mean, India can make it cheaper. China can make it cheaper. They can provide the service to treat the patients. And you can use the schedule that suits fractionation that you can use, that can afford to treat as many patients as you want to. And meanwhile, you know, people get served in that country. For example, in the high dose rate machines, they can use a cobalt source rather than many iridium sources. And you get the same thing with at a cheaper service. Still same dose to point A and point B, but at cheaper rate. We have to look into avenues that we can do things at a low cost, but provide the patient with the best possible care.
And do you have a good experience like in a private-public collaboration to set up some centers? I have heard about that in some countries in Africa. It seems to work well. What would be your experience, or do you have experience like that, or you're just setting up private centers?
Can you rephrase the question again?
Yeah, so I am aware that in some countries, the collaboration between the industry, so private sectors, and the public ones, like, you know, academic hospitals, the government, seems to work quite well. It's not always the case, but sometimes it is. And that's really a good way to start centers where there is not enough money from the government or from the public centers to do that. I think I heard recently about something like that in Kenya, and it seems really to work very well. But, you know, I don't know if you have experience with that, or what is your comment? I
agree with you. The government support is limited, and only universities can get funds, and the universities get funds also from the government. So it's a catch-22. The only thing I think, the one that have the money and the funds are the pharmaceuticals. They have tons of money, and we have to find a way to engage them with us in radiation therapy so that we can get the funds to do research and treat the patients.
Yeah, but I think, Dr. Abdelrazak, it's very difficult to involve the pharma companies with us because, as you know, the side effects that we have due to radiation is so limited, and just they want to be with us to create some creams to the patients to put it. Still now we don't have any medication, and so expensive medication that they have our colleagues, the medical oncologists, that they are using. So that's why the pharma companies, they are supporting the research and biased research. Unfortunately, it's not research, it's a biased research oriented to their products. My question, the other question, just to be two, if you have any experience using the refurnished machines and problems that you have with the manufacturers, because it was the topic, the first part of our meeting.
Yes, I agree with you about the refurbished machines. When we used to be doing in the US, most of these centers have refurbished machines. They are the same quality assurance on those machines like the new machine, but they are donated or from the, the community hospitals after 4 years, they either have to use the money or pay taxes. So they all buy new machines. And their machines, that's
after 4 years.
Yes. So those machines, if they don't do that, they have to pay taxes because the profits they make go to the government. So they said, we'll be building, we do machines, new machines, everything new. And the old machines, 4 years old, it's like new. These machines can.
Yes, like new 4 years.
Yes, they can live. No, I've been experienced with that. These machines can live 20 years without a problem. But
this is true.
Yes, so we used to get them and put them into the small centers at a cheaper rate just to do it. That can be duplicated in Africa, like Dr. Ahmed said. So either refurbished machines or other. Today we had a patient that need the lymphoma, R-CHOP. It's a stage 1. So the R by itself, rituximab, 30,000 dirham, just one injection. That's the whole course of radiation therapy. So that's the problem. And we have to engage them to do R-CHOP with radiation, for example.
What I would like to say, if you allow me, that this is the present. What we would like to explore is how to change in the future. And you would sit together and you would like your opinion, your precious opinion, advice, and that in all the department that I chaired in advice, I make it a project of clinical oncology unit. In its heart is the radiotherapy, but it's not radiotherapy only. It should be something clinic for chemotherapy, at least outpatient, if it's not there's no hospital. At least data for studies connected to lab. This should be something combined, but not radiotherapy alone like this. And even if it's a part of hospital, should be attached to the whole service. You'll see in the next webinar that the future also is in combination immunotherapy with radiotherapy. So it will be part of our care and concomitant treatment. There will be this is the future has started already. So if we keep to build on the old picture of radiotherapy, then will be squeezed in this small corner. Radiotherapy should be expanded, and even in brachytherapy, there are other many aspects. We'll take it in our next webinar about electronic brachytherapy. We discuss. I don't know if it is the excellent option or not, but it will be taken and will be very cost effective, and we could move from one city to another in a van or something. There are many things that we would like to explore and not to be squeezed in the old corner of radiotherapy that so will not find funds, will not find research. Radiotherapy is a part of medicine with its own discipline and all funds of research for many basic research could be directed to radiotherapy if we explore this. Second thing that now there is a combination with AI and many other things. We should tackle, avoid and tackle this from now. Otherwise, will be so late after. So this point should be discussed in our webinars, in our courses, in our education program. Otherwise, will be out of fashion. Suddenly, will be out of fashion. So I see that there is all your points. What you tackle is practical, is realistic one, but the future is there, and then you are the best person to open this door of future with your wide experience. I would like, if Luca allow me to give the talk to young colleague join us, Dr. Monica Tony, who was the MD, but shifted to AI. And this is an example that what is going on in the world. She was the MD, but in AI, and her work in how to use AI in decreasing the gap of and shortage of treatment and healthcare in the world. Dr. Monica, if you allow me to present her.
Thank you so much, Dr. Al-Zawawi. It was such a great session with all the industry leaders, I must say, and I'm really fortunate to attend this today. Hello, everyone, and a very warm greeting from India. I'm Dr. Monica Sonu. I'm the co-founder of Health Innovation Toolbox, where I lead global digital health and product innovation initiatives across healthcare, pharma, and life sciences. And my area of work usually revolves around, technology assessment, AI assessment, AI-enabled care, care model design, pathway design, intelligent health system analysis, and technology transformation for hospitals, public health sectors, etc. And as I said, it's an honor to join you all, with all the other world leaders in radiotherapy, clinical oncology. So much of discussion, going on around oncology and radiotherapy, how to make it more accessible, how to make it more equitable, cost-wise, quality-wise, without compromising the quality. I think definitely AI has got the answer. Okay, it's one of the force multipliers, I must say. But again, standing right at the bridge of, seeing both the clinical sides, the AI perspective, the technology perspective, the data science perspective, ethical perspective, all these needs a great amount of collaboration and coordination. And this webinar is indeed one of the very good platforms for, I think, the doctors around the world, and more doctors must join this platform. Okay, because all of you, what you discussed was the real industry gaps and gaps and the requirements which probably technology could solve. But it's like a coordination, right? Like, even the techies needs to know what exactly is needed in terms of like AI, which use cases you want to focus more, what is your important focus area. So this kind of gaps does exist, and I think it's a great start. And thank you again, Dr. Al-Zawawi, for making me join this forum. So do you want to go ahead with my video, or do you want me to throw some more light with respect to AI and oncology, Dr. Al-Zawawi? Just let me know. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Monica Sonu, and it's such a great pleasure to be here with you all today. I'm very honored to be invited as global faculty in the second series of ASCO GOIS International Webinars, a prestigious collab between the American Society of Clinical Oncology and the Global Oncology Initiative Society. This very impactful global forum brings together top cancer experts, researchers, clinicians, and innovators to advance equitable, technology-enabled cancer care worldwide. Coming back to me, I'm the co-founder of Health Innovation Toolbox, a global product engineering company, and our mission is to transform healthcare through intelligent digital innovations and responsible technologies. My professional journey spans over 20 years now. consisting of clinical and health tech experiences across India, Middle East, Africa, Southeast Asia, where I've had the privilege of working with governments, Ministry of Health, global health organizations, private and public hospitals, startups, and top pharma and medical devices companies at every stage of digital maturity, right from low-tech environments, limited infrastructures, to highly advanced AI-driven systems. Over the years, I have focused on building intelligent digital health ecosystems that connected care, data, and design, shaping next-generation platforms that unify clinical workflows, patient engagements, and enterprise intelligence. What drives me in healthcare is translating complex health challenges and policy goals into actionable digital frameworks, ensuring that innovation remains both strategic and grounded in real-world impact. Apart from technology, my work areas also include education initiatives, research, and health policy making. I see myself as a system strategist who thinks in frameworks, not just fragments. I'm someone who connects technology, clinical side, operational gaps to design solutions and digital health, specifically digital health solutions that are both intelligent and implementable at the same time. One of my most fulfilling initiatives, along with my co-founder, is HIT Labs 10,000, which is a social impact program under our company. And through this movement, we are empowering around 10,000 healthcare professionals across Africa with digital health skills and innovation literacy. Beyond workforce training, we also mentor African health tech startups who are specifically aligned with the SDGs. We are also contributing to Vision 2047 India as industry partners and experts for flagship research and technology deployment project that is Future Ready Hospitals Industry 4.0. This national initiative is aimed at digitally transforming public health infrastructure and build data-driven system in the country and has the power to directly impact millions of lives. Specifically in the areas of AI cancer research, I'm also privileged to work with UNESCO AI and XR chair and co-chair. So yes, this is pretty much what I am doing right now, apart from my other activities. Having worked across the entire spectrum of technology adoption, from digital readiness to digital health, product design to designing responsible AI frameworks, I have realized, one thing in healthcare, in this 20 years, that transformation in healthcare is never just about providing them with some kind of tool or, making algorithms for them, but it's all about people, it's about process, and it's about the purpose. I see it like, whether I'm supporting a public health agency in early digital integration, or I'm guiding a top global pharma company on automation. My core question remains constant. How can technology serve people better, faster, and more affordable? And my mission in healthcare is connecting innovation to inclusion, technology to trust, and intelligence to impact. And I'm thrilled to be part of this conversation today. And huge thanks to Dr. Professor Ahmed Al-Zawawi for the kind invitation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Monica. And I remind you that in the third webinar, the part of the third webinar will be a very exciting discussion about AI and clinical oncology. And we are all invited to lead it in discussion. And now I leave the floor for the leadership of Professor Luca Perucci, to Abba, to Dr. Sami, and to all. And please, for the conclusion remark, and give me just the last 5 minutes to announce about our next talk. Professor Luca.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Dr. Monica, for your presentation. I think you will join our next webinars, but just to understand better now, do you already have some examples of collaboration of your company or your work specifically in radiotherapy for low middle income country? Can you comment a little bit of it's something that you say you would like to partner with all of us to find ways of helping us?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for this question, Dr. Luca. Specifically, if you ask, no, exactly not in radiotherapy, but definitely in cancer research, okay, where we are working with global team, as I already mentioned. So it's like, working with oncologists, radiologists, and, gastrosurgeons on grounds from different geographies for our AI research. And this is just one part of it. When you were discussing about, the ground realities and the specific things needed from technology in order to cover the gaps in radiotherapy, etc. A lot of things were going on in my mind, actually. What could be the best use cases? I think doctor from South Africa, Dr.
Malum.
Malum, yes, okay, very, very interesting point he mentioned about, the donors and the recipients. And, it's such a, thing that we don't have a platform and a global platform where such things could be exchanged and people could know the real time, machinery availability or something like that. Others like, as oncologists and doctors, you all have huge experience in oncology and the things you need, like we can just think of like how the particular thing like AI would be a very big term to use here, but how these algorithms and small models could work in terms of helping patients, helping doctors, helping the healthcare setup as it is. Okay, like say for example, if it is a patient, what exactly is the context that the patient is living in, what is the the background, what are the cultural things that AI could touch and again make a cancer journey or the cancer pathway better for that patient in order of experience and the treatment plans and the to and fro from doctors to the patient. How can it make a doctor's life more less cumbersome in terms of diagnosis, in terms of pre-screening, screening, treatment plans, and adjustment plans, etc. How can it help hospital in order to capacity plan? So there could be an n number of use cases. It could be clinical use cases, it could be operational use cases. So there could be a very small start with the low hanging fruits, which could definitely help multiple stakeholders at one go, and step by step also, like, I'm not saying that this is something new we are talking. Already it's happening in a big way in the world. Biggest of the companies are into this, GE Healthcare, Microsoft, etc. But where they are lacking is the the local context, like how we are discussing the global south, the low and middle income countries. Is anybody like literally focusing on the data source, data sets, the real problem on the grounds? No, that's not happening. So I think it's a big way that all the doctors coordinates, AI scientists coordinates, data scientists coordinates. It's like a collaborative co-creative work, I guess. Like technology is nothing if all you doctors are not there with it, okay, to shape it up. Okay, so we need doctors like you who has plethora of experience in clinical oncology. We need young doctors. You all were talking about the institutional level introduction. Yes, of course, this is the time. This is the time to introduce this to kids, okay? That, hey, look, you are in medical school, but this is something that's going to be integrative in your practice in the future. So yes, Dr. Luca, maybe I exaggerated it a bit more, but yes, very much into cancer research, but from the clinical side. But yes, of course, there are a lot of things that can be done from non-clinical and operational side also. Yes, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Monica. Yes, Professor Sami.
Yeah, just a question for Dr. Monica. First of all, how we can get her contacts, and the second, just to have some collaboration, because Dr. Zawawi knows we within our congresses yearly, we have sessions about AI. So it will be excellent to have her as an expert in our activities.
Thank
Just
you
to
so
start
much.
some collaboration.
Can I interfere? This is GOIS is a good occasion for a forum. That her contact and her CV and everything will be sent to you today. She sent it to me to send it to all GOIS member. So you can
Excellent.
contact
You
her
are
directly.
very active.
You can
You are
contact her
very active.
directly.
Yeah, if it is possible, the email and the mobile number with the WhatsApp, which will be much easier to contact within WhatsApp.
Done.
Yeah, please
None.
go ahead, Dr. El-Zawawi. It's
Thank
with
you.
you. Please
It's
go ahead.
it's a new field, and we should involve a lot of people here, mainly not only oncologists and all other specialists. As you know, in AMAC, the Arab Medical Association Against Cancer, our target is the junior doctors. So we want them to be involved at the top.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that, as you are saying, I think that at our meetings, oncology or radiotherapy meetings, there should always be at least one session on AI. And it will be even better not only to have a scientific session, but together with that also a workshop where the professionals go in discussion with you, Dr. Monica, or others, to see what can we do together to increase cancer care in low middle income countries. That will be very good to create that, and I'm happy that you are here in this webinar and that you are open to collaborate with the group. Thank you again.
Absolutely.
So I think, Dr. Ahmed, I think we should wrap up. It's almost almost 10 to 6 or 10 to 5, I think.
Excuse me, I would like just to hear from Abba, because I promised him that to see his conclusion remark before I make announcement for the next webinar. Dr. Abba. Your Dr. Abba, we can't hear you. Okay, I would like to say that thank you all, but the first message that this webinar is stimulating. You are the leaders. Yes, well, I'm very appreciating Professor Luca Incroci to lead the session, and he's the co-chair of the whole series, not only today, the whole series with Professor Sikora and other distinguished faculties. But all of you are leaders. This behind me, beside me now, Mahmoud, who is the technical coordinator. He promised me that in the late evening today, you'll have the record of this webinar. So it will be in your hands and belongs to you. Be the leader of spreading the message everywhere, and to stimulate its value coming from stimulating more circle and more circle and more circle. We don't claim that we will have answer for everything, but stimulating things. In the next webinar, you will find that there are still many exciting things about many things in clinical oncology radiotherapy, and it needs all your discussion. Please invite colleagues to be involved collectively. And I see here Furkan, he is from OncoDaily. I ask him to, this is, I think this is one of your great task, is to spread through your news letter and news OncoDaily this message to everywhere, and you are part of this initiative. So I say thank you all, and all this initiative with your hands. Please add, modify, suggest. This is yours. You are the leaders, not me. I am just a humble person among you. Thank you all. And next time we'll meet in 26th November. But till 26th November, we'll communicate for preparation, for everything, for the development of things. Thank you all. And bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed.
Thank you, Professor Ahmed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dr.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.